I'm sorry, you know everything about metabolism now? What, are you going to draw the Krebs cycle for me? What, you're going to tell me exactly? Like, well, no. I don't know everything about diet and eating and all that, but I'm pretty sure if you eat plutonium, I'm pretty sure you're going to die, right? I'm not a master economist, but it doesn't take a finance major or a PhD econ to say that tariffing the entire world, like 80%, is probably not going to be good for the economy. Probably not going to be good for everything, you know?
I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. I talked to a lot of leaders, European, Asian, from all over the world. They're dying to make a deal. But I said, we're not going to have deficits with your country. We're not going to do that, because to me, a deficit is a loss. We're going to have surpluses, or we're at worst going to be breaking even. Now, what's going to happen with the market, I can't tell you, but I can tell you our country has gotten a lot stronger.
Well, the big question is how much medicine the American people are prepared to take, if not the wider world. There's no doubt the markets are reeling, as Trump must have expected. Shares plunged in Europe and London, while Asian markets saw their worst drop in decades. People have every right to be seriously worried about what's going on. But markets are fickle indicators of confidence and stability. And they're only one indicator. They'll come roaring back if it looks like the gamble is paying off. Well, many of Trump's biggest supporters are not convinced, as we'll discuss. But many countries lashed by the tariffs seem very keen to make a very quick deal. So my view, as with all things Trump, is let's wait and see. Let's take a beat. Let's see if this can work. The problem with hitching yourself entirely to a single wagon is that it can end up racing down a steep hill and over the edge of a cliff. That's why so many in the legacy media are taking a very belated interest in everything from Hunter Biden's laptop to President Biden's dementia, a subject that continues to make Democrats squirm.
Stop. I saw you type this once on another, and I saw you in the Kick Chat say this. You are arguing the pro-MAGA side here, that everyone's opinion is the same value, even if you're a higher low information voter, and that we shouldn't listen to experts. I'm not arguing that at all. If that's what you took from that, you're retarded. I don't know what to say to you. Sorry.
Don't you think your party needs to acknowledge that President Biden was not up for the job of running for re-election, and that this was a major mistake by the Democrats?
Wait. What is the date on this? Democrats' former VP nominee on his party's future. Was this recent? Or was this like from months ago? Yesterday? Why? Why? Can we have one fucking OAN or Newsmax on the left, please? CNN, can you be half the partisan fucks the right accuses you of? Why are we still talking about Biden?
The job of running for re-election, and that this was a major mistake by the
He made that decision.
I know, but you all went along with the idea that he was up for it, and he wasn't. And everybody saw it, and the country rejected it.
Yeah, well, look, history will tell us to go back on that. That very well could be the case, Jake. What I'm concerned about is learning from those lessons. I would hope we would never do.
Biden would have won.
Do it again, make a mistake, make sure we go through and get someone. But I don't know where it helps us going forward.
Biden almost certainly would not have won.
Well, the last 2 years have taught us anything.
Almost certainly would not have won.
Democrats bearing emphatic conclusions, and don't bet against President.
But you know what? I like to pretend that he would have.
And Trump. Well, to debate all this, I'm joined by Natalie Winters, the co-host of Steve Bannon's War Room, the founder of Outkick, Clay Travis, the host of Democracy-ish podcast, Jarhat Ali, and Amy Parnes, the senior correspondent at The Hill and author of Fight Inside the Wildest Battle for the White House, and Richard Quest from CNN, the Business at Large editor there, will be joining us very shortly too. So welcome to all of our guests. Clay Travis, let me start with you. Even for Donald Trump's biggest supporters, of whom there are many, this is a moment of
Wait, why are these things having trouble getting power even when I have accumulator charges? Is it because I don't have enough accumulators to provide like active charge? Like, can you not draw infinite power from a single accumulator, or?
Concern where they're thinking, does he know what he's doing? Do you think he knows what he's doing?
I do.
Nice echo, dipshit.
Beers. And I just interviewed Trump a couple of weeks ago on Air Force One, and I know you've interviewed him several times. I think it was the 11th time that I've interviewed him in the last 5 years, which has to be up there. And what struck me in terms of his overall composure and comportment was This is a guy who doesn't care what anybody else says anymore. And I don't think it's been talked about enough, the July 13th assassination attempt. What it did when he survived that attempt and then also survived the attempt at West Palm Beach at his golf course is he is convinced, I believe, that he has a short period of time to truly do whatever he thinks is best in the interest of the American public. And I would say there are three big categories that he's focused on right now. One is the border, which nobody talks about anymore because the United States southern border is effectively closed.
Wow.
Now, getting the violent perpetrators of crime out of the country is still underway, but he shut down the border. The second, I would say, is a focus in general on trying to get the American marketplace to work in a strong fashion. And he understands that that is a major battle because our trade policies have been broken. The third's the budget, where he's got Elon Musk underway. Those are the three big things that I think he has undertaken in the first 100 days. I think he knows he has to get them fixed in the first 18 months because by the time we get to the summer of next year, we're going to be well on our way to the second term. And he is taking big swings. He is doing what he believes is the absolute best to put America on the best footing for the next several decades. This is not a tiptoe up. This is not a sort of make little changes along the margin. He believes there are three major issues that has to be fixed, and he has dove into them fully to try to get them fixed instead of just trying to, like I said, kind of cut around the edges. This is an implementation of a massive change in all three major areas. One of them is 100% a success already. Stock market's not pleased so far with this one. And I would suggest that Elon Musk and Doge is headed to being a massive success as well.
But Clay, very quickly, a difficult question for you. If this was Joe Biden who'd done this and tanked global markets out of nowhere, not because of a reaction to a crisis, but entirely through a deliberate decision to slap unprecedented tariffs on the entire planet.
This is what I mean when I say I can't tell if I like people like Piers more or if I hate them more because of this. Like, I don't think Piers is a dipshit. I think he plays the game, right? Because he could have been asking questions like this for a lot more time, like a lot earlier, right? If Biden would have done this, wouldn't we all be unbelievably ass-pained? Like, wouldn't that be the case? It would be ass-pain like we've never seen before.
Would you be so enthusiastic, or would you be calling it one of the biggest disasters in modern presidential history?
The funny thing is here, because they're so mask off, I hope my prediction is wrong here. He's not going to say, no, I'd be okay with Biden doing it. He's just going to outwardly say, I wouldn't be okay with Biden doing it. But it's because Biden doesn't have the same plan that Donald Trump had.
It's a good question, Piers. And I think let's go to look at what Joe Biden did. Really, this is mostly about China, right? Because China has flouted American global commerce and global commerce in general by deciding that they're going to be making products in different countries, whether it's Vietnam, whether it's Cambodia, to avoid having to deal with the larger issues of fair trade, right? They're moving all their shipments.
Well, no one is I'm sorry. Every now and then I just have to wonder, like, what am I doing? Okay. Sorry. It's all part of the game. No one is... Why do people keep talking about China when we mention the tariffs? Trump did not tariff China. Trump tariffed the entire fucking free world. Why the fuck is he talking about China? We're talking about the tariffs across the entire fucking world.
Into Mexico, for instance, to take advantage of the fact that there aren't substantial tariffs inside.
To the tariff calculations Trump's teams did. Is it true that the tariff calculations Trump's team did actually only included trade goods and not services? I don't think you typically include services and imports and exports. I don't know why. I don't know how that gets accounted for. So, but also their tariff calculations weren't even real anyway. They were just arbitrary bullshit numbers.
Of the North American continent.
Not arbitrary, actually. It was they just basically, if we have a trade deficit with somebody, they assume that it's because of tariffs, and that's how they calculated the tariffs.
Advantage of the fact that there aren't substantial tariffs inside of the North American continent. What did Joe Biden do with China? He left in place the Trump tariffs that everybody told us were unprecedented on China. It's one of the few things that he didn't change at all. So, no, I wouldn't trust Joe Biden to have any idea what he's doing because everything Biden touched got worse during his 4 years. I do think, given his history in the marketplace,